Yes, this man sucks.
This past week, I was told I made a brief cameo on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. I responded in a somewhat panicked manner. Have I time traveled to 2003? Where are my children?
What year is it?
Apparently, I had not time traveled. My children are fine. Jon, on the other hand, not so fine. See, this year, Jon unceremoniously returned to The Daily Show after completely falling apart on Apple Plus with a show he called The Problem with Jon Stewart. I'm going to assume it didn't work because people already know the problem with Jon Stewart. He's 61 years old and still doesn't know most basic things, but pretends he's smart by making the same obnoxious, snarky faces my 10-year-old sometimes makes. More on that later. First, let's watch the clip.
Yes, Jon Stewart is known for this. Before we proceed to watch this video, let me say this. He recently made some comment react to a video from Ben Shapiro and Meghan Kelly. Jon Shapiro called out Kamala, and a lot of things are actually going on. Even Trump recently made it clear, oh, I was in a private jet with the ex, and Jon Stewart in that light took it differently. Ben Shapiro did not hold that. He decided to reply it. It is important we take an exclusive look into what is going on exactly. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share out the video.
Do you have anything else that could denigrate all of Kamala Harris's accomplishments by suggesting it's merely the power of the Jezebel?
It is relevant when a young candidate tries to sleep her way into politics and into power. And that is what it appears Kamala Harris did.
She's never earned or won anything. Like she was legitimately handed her original posts in California state government because she was sleeping with Willie Brown. And then he backed her in her race for San Francisco DA. And I'm fine with squeaks. It's nicer than half the stuff people say about me. And I will be the first to admit my voice sounds like a Smurf with a head cold. At the same time, I am 5'9", and Jon Stewart is a midgetly 5'7". He's also a complete cynical boob. By this, I mean that his entire game is to ignore issues in favor of cheap insults. That's literally what he does, like all the time. There are never any arguments. What's amazing is that Jon Stewart is largely responsible for having turned all of American politics into that exact same game. So let's actually jump in the time machine all the way back to 2004, when, that guy had a daily show. A young Jon Stewart appeared with liberal Paul Begala and bow-tied much younger Tucker Carlson on a show called CNN's Crossfire. Now, you might not remember Crossfire. This was a show that featured people from either side of the aisle talking about the issues on CNN. I know, sounds crazy, but it was on the air every day. And Jon Stewart hated that. Here he was, being an asshole.
I made a special effort to come on the show today because I have privately, amongst my friends, and also in occasional newspapers and television shows, mentioned this show as being bad. And I felt that wasn't fair, and I should come here and tell you that it's not so much that it's bad as it's hurting America. So I wanted to come here today and say,
wait.
Here's just what I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop hurting America.
Okay, now
and come work for us, because we, as the people.
How do you pay?
The people, not well.
Better than CNN, I'm sure.
But you can sleep at night. See, the thing is, we need your help. Right now you're helping the politicians and the corporations, and we're left out there to mow our lawns.
You just said we're too rough on them when they make mistakes.
No, you're not too rough on them. You're part of their strategies. You're partisan, what do you call it, hacks.
Now, note the critique here. Crossfire was bad. It was, how do you say, hurting America. Why? Because while Jon Stewart had what he called civilized discourse on his program, they were partisan, how do you call it? Hacks. All politicians, according to Jon Stewart, were lying about their arguments, said the great, mighty, moral Jon Stewart. Only Jon Stewart was honest with you. And you could tell he was honest because he was a comedian who made funny faces and was honest enough to admit he wasn't going to even try to ask anybody a tough question. Honesty. And also he said Tucker Carlson was a dick and that he was 35 and wore a bow tie. Well, now Jon Stewart is 61 and is a dick and wears the same outfits he wore when he was 35. Which, if you're keeping score back home, was back when I was 14 years old and in high school. That is 7 years younger than my father. He's still trying to play cool like Steve Buscemi on 30 Rock.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
He's no longer Michael Air Jordan. He's Michael Jordan on the Wizards. His routine hasn't changed. He's an actual honest-to-God partisan hack who undermines civilized discourse. He holds 0 positions that are disapproved by the Democratic Party elite. He makes arguments that are specious and empty and stupid.
This is where I have issues with liberals. They like to pick a video out of context to pass a message in a different way, especially to satisfy their audience and tarnish your image in a different light. If you notice what is circulating on social media now, they are just doing this over and over, and even the social media platforms are not doing anything about it. In this video, it's the same thing. What he did to Ben Shapiro clearly shows you the pattern they follow on daily basis.
Civilized discourse. He holds 0 positions that are disapproved by the Democratic Party elite. He makes arguments that are specious and empty and stupid. And then he plays a clip, and then he makes a funny face. But the thing is, that's because Jon Stewart won. See, he showed that the safest pathway to success is to be a clown, but a plausibly deniable clown. So CNN doesn't have political debates anymore. They stopped all that. You're not going to have Tucker Carlson versus Paul Begala. You'll just have a bunch of people who agree with each other. Now, half the anchors are doing bad Jon Stewart imitations from 2004. Play clip, make funny face. Don't take the argument seriously. Don't bring facts. Easier to throw out an insult or a rubbery smile. See, Jon Stewart's a coward. He's always been a coward. If he had the courage of his convictions, he wouldn't put on the clown nose every time he's questioned about his politics. Every time somebody asks him a serious question, he goes, I'm just a comedian. Instead, he might remove the squirting rose from his lapel when it's time for one of his shallow and idiotic hot takes. That guy runs away from actual political argumentation faster than he ran away from his birth name. Too Jewish, you know. Really courageous, Mr. Leibowitz. Well, here's the truth. Jon Stewart did win the war. He converted all political media into tired one-liners and dumb mugging. Honest conversation across the aisle, which is what Crossfire actually was.
Like I said at the beginning of this video, this man still sucks. I thought he'll be coming back. We will see some changes into this program. You know, I don't know if he's actually a comedian. Is he funny to you? Because he just go into all the shows during the weeks. He picks out videos. You know, just the kind of reactions are not really what you want to see. If I take up a video to react here, I try my best to do research, you know, to bring articles, tweet, so we can see what people are saying or what is going on and try to put in my opinions into those videos. He is not doing that. He just play along videos like that every single day. Then when he says something like Ben Shapiro said here, you want to question it turns to, I'm just a comedian. That is the game. I don't know if people actually notice what these people put out every single day. And it is not funny any longer because people are watching what they're doing. I now understand. At first, I used to like to react on his videos, but I didn't know exactly what I was actually doing. Along the way, I had to study to know exactly what the guy was putting out. It's trash all through. Well, I watched the full episode of this video. What he did there, I had to just look at it and said, oh, Ben Shapiro is right. He's right. What he said on this video, I don't have anything to argue on reasons. I just had to play the video all through so you see exactly what these people are doing.